Today we are going to discuss a very important topic related to competitive exams, that is activation energy. Not all the reactions proceeds at same rate. Some of the reactions are fast and some of the reactions are slow. In our common experience, we know that the rate of a chemical reaction increases with increase in temperature. That is, the food will get spoiled faster in summer than in winter, right? From this we will know that the rate of a chemical reaction increases with increase in temperature. But the question is, why should the rate differ from reaction to reaction? Why should the rise in temperature makes the reaction to proceed faster? In order to explain this, in the year 1897, a scientist by name Arrhenius, he proposed the concept of energy barrier and activation energy. Let us try to understand this in detail. For any chemical reaction to take place, first the reactant molecules must colloid each other. For example, if I consider a reaction where A plus B gives C plus D. For this reaction to take place, first these two reactant molecules must colloid each other. If they colloid, whether the reaction will take place, that is not sure, because all the collision between the reactant molecules will not lead to the product formation. Only those collision between the reactant molecule which are effective will lead to the product formation. If the collision between the reactant molecule is ineffective, then they do not form any product. So the collision between the reactant molecules are of two types: effective collision and ineffective collision. Only effective collision between the reactant molecules will lead to product formation. Now, how to know that whether the collision between the reactant molecule is effective or ineffective? So what are the factors that decides whether the collision between the reactant molecule is effective or ineffective? So there are two factors which will decide the collision between the reactant molecule is effective or ineffective. That is, first one is the energy factor and the second one is orientation factor. First, let us take the energy factor. For a chemical reaction to take place, first thing is the reactant molecules must colloid, but the collision must be an effective collision. For effective collision to take place between the reactant molecules, the reactant molecules must have an energy equal to or more than a certain minimum energy called as threshold energy. Only those molecules which have an energy equal to or more than threshold energy on collision leads to the formation of product. So threshold energy is the main condition for the reactant molecules to react and give the product. So threshold energy is the minimum energy the reactant molecules must possess in order to react and give the product. So what is threshold energy? The minimum energy the reactant molecules must possess to react and give the product is called threshold energy. And the molecules having an energy equal to or more than threshold energy are called active molecules, and the remaining molecules which do not possess this threshold energy are called as the normal molecules or average energy molecules. Average energy molecules. Under ordinary condition of temperature and pressure, the number of active molecules will be very less. Therefore, the reaction will be slow. So you know what are active molecules? The molecules which have an energy equal to or more than threshold energy are called active molecules. Even the normal energy molecules or average energy molecules will have a certain amount of energy under ordinary condition of temperature and pressure. But this energy will be less than the threshold energy. Therefore, when the normal molecules, when they collide, the collision will become ineffective, and the energy possessed by the normal molecules under ordinary conditions of temperature and pressure is called as average energy. Average energy. So you must know this. Under ordinary condition of temperature and pressure, the number of active molecules will be very less, and under normal conditions of temperature and pressure, even the normal molecules will possess some energy, and this energy we call it as average energy, but this average energy will be less than threshold energy. Therefore, when these molecules collide, the collision will become ineffective. So for the normal molecules to collide and give the product, what should happen is they must gain some additional energy. They must gain some additional energy along with the normal energy or the average energy to get the required threshold energy and then collide, so that they will give the product. So this additional energy that the normal molecule must gain along with the average energy, we call it as the activation energy, and it is denoted by E subscript A. So activation energy is E subscript A. So what is activation energy? It is the minimum extra energy that the normal molecule must gain along with the average energy to react and give the product is called activation energy. The relation between the average energy, activation energy and threshold energy can be denoted by using graph. So let us draw the graph and try to see the relation between the average energy, activation energy and threshold energy. Now let us plot the graph. Y-axis shows energy and x-axis shows the progress of the reaction, and the graph that we are going to draw is called as the reaction profile. It's the name of the graph. Now we all know that under ordinary condition all the reactant molecules will have a certain amount of energy, and this energy we call it as the average energy. So at ordinary conditions the energy of the reactants is called as the average energy. Now this is the reactant. Let us assume that all the reactants are having a certain amount of energy called as the average energy, and this energy is not sufficient for the reactants to react and give the product. Next, the reactants will react and they will give the product, but when they form the product, the average energy of the product under ordinary condition will be less than the reactant. It can even be more than the reactant, but in most of the cases it will be less than the reactant. Now, do you think that during the reaction the reactants will directly get converted to product by releasing energy? No. Instead, the reactant molecules must cross an energy barrier before forming the products. What is this energy barrier? The energy barrier is an high energy state. It is an high energy state between the reactant and product. It's an high energy state between the reactant and the product. And the top of this energy barrier corresponds to the threshold energy. The top of this energy barrier corresponds to threshold energy. So these reactant molecules having normal energy is not able to collide and give the product. So these reactant molecules, in order to colloid and give the product, they must have the necessary threshold energy. It must have an energy equal to or more than threshold energy. But under ordinary condition, the energy is very less. See, the average energy is less than threshold energy. So therefore, they are not able to colloid and give the product. Now what must happen? These reactant molecules must gain some additional energy along with this average energy to gain the necessary threshold energy, so that the molecules will become active and then they will give the product by releasing energy. So this can be shown like this. First, they will gain an additional energy and the molecules will become activated. Then these activated molecules will give the product by releasing energy. And what is this additional energy is called as? This additional energy is called as the activation energy. So from this graph, we can write the relation between EA, ER and ET. You can observe this. This ET, the threshold energy, is equal to the sum of activation energy and the average energy, or activation energy is equal to threshold energy minus average energy. So EA is equal to threshold energy minus the normal energy. Next, you can see that in this graph, the reactant molecules have absorbed this much energy and it has released energy more than what it has observed, right? It has released energy more than what it has observed. So this extra energy what it has released during the formation of product is called as the enthalpy of the reaction. It is called as the enthalpy of the reaction. If during the reaction, if the average energy of the product, if it is less than the average energy of the reactant, then the enthalpy of the reaction will be negative and it will be an exothermic reaction, and the product formed will be more stable than the reactant. If the average energy of the product, if it is less than the average energy of the reactant, then the product formed will be more stable than the reactant, and delta H, that is the enthalpy of the reaction, will be negative and the reaction will be an exothermic reaction. In some cases what might happen is the energy released during the formation of the product, can be less than what it has observed. See, it has observed this much of energy and it has released only this much. So in such case the product formed will be less stable compared to the reactant, and this enthalpy of the reaction will be positive, and such reaction will be an endothermic reaction. Next, the value of EA will decide the rate of the reaction, that is the speed of the reaction. If EA is large, then the reaction is slow. If EA is less or if EA is small, then the reaction will be fast. So if EA is large, then the reaction is slow. If EA is small, then the reaction is fast. If EA is equal to 0, then the reaction is instantaneous reaction, that is the reaction is very fast. It will proceed at larger rate. Okay, so these are the things which are very important for your competitive exams. Next, in case of forward reaction, you can see that in case of forward reaction, this is the activation energy. But in case of backward reaction, in case of reverse reaction, when the products react to give back the reactant, you can see this will be the activation energy. This is the activation energy. So this is the activation energy for the backward reaction. This is the activation energy for the forward reaction. If the activation energy of the backward reaction, if it is more than the activation energy of the forward reaction, what will happen? The product formed will be more stable than the reactant. If the activation energy of the backward reaction, if it is more than the activation energy of the forward reaction, then the product formed will be more stable and the reaction will be an exothermic reaction. If the activation energy of, see, in this situation, the activation energy of the backward reaction is less than the activation energy of forward reaction. If the activation energy of backward reaction, if it is less than the activation energy of forward reaction, then the reaction will be endothermic, and in this case the reactant will be more stable than the product. So these are the very important thing that you must know related to activation energy. So what is the significance of activation energy? Activation energy will decide the rate of the reaction, that is whether the reaction is fast or slow. And you must remember one thing, activation energy will not decide the extent to which the chemical reaction will take place. What is that factor will decide the extent to which the chemical reaction will take place? That is equilibrium constant. Is these points clear to you? Okay, this is all for today's class.